in today's coaster review, we're going to be talking about Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit at Universal Studios Florida. This is an icon coaster for the Universal Resort. I got to ride this coaster last weekend, and I gotta say one thing. I have some pretty good thoughts on it. I got about 3 rides on it, and I have to say it's a fairly good coaster. Is it top 10? Absolutely not. Top 20? Just maybe. I do prefer most of the other coasters I've ridden to this one, but this one has some really unique characteristics. It is named after, it's just basically people like to name it the mid-course brake run ride because of how many mid-courses there are. There's only actually 4 mid-courses, but people make it out to seem like there's over 7 of them. But I want to talk about the ride. Let's not make fun of it, but let's talk about it. Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is an icon for the park. It actually has some pretty impressive stats. You actually have a height of 167 feet, track length of 3,800 feet of track, and overall, it has some pretty cool stats. It also features 0 inversions, but there's also a non-inverting loop. A very cool lift hill, but the side of the drop isn't as steep as I would wish it would be. If you think about it, you have a vertical lift, you would have a beyond vertical drop, but you really don't. So let's get started with this ride. Like I said at the beginning, I got a total of 3 rides. I got a direct front row ride, a direct back row ride, and row 2. So I have a pretty good feel for this coaster. Now, what is the problem with this coaster? And there is a problem in my opinion. The layout. It's boring. It's also a little bit rough, but I don't think the roughness is really that bad. If anything, it's noticeable, but you can still enjoy the ride. Unlike some coasters out there, speaking of Green Lantern at Great Adventure, you guys know I absolutely hate that one. But let's talk about it. So it does have plenty of mid-course brake runs. The drop is trimmed to death. So let's talk about it. I want to start off with this ride by beginning with a negative. And I'm going to be doing the negatives first before the positives. This ride has the most ridiculous locker system ever. Despite the ride was a walk-on when I rode it, I don't fully like how their lockers are. Yes, the lockers may be free, but you cannot have your own damn phone in line. Because you would think in a ride you would be able to have your phone, but then they'll have bins on the platform. Take a look at SeaWorld Orlando, or heck, even Disney, but Disney has pouches in the coaster trains. You can bring your phone online, no problem. But Universal, you can't even have your phone, which is, I just don't fully agree with. And yes, it is for safety, I understand, and I'm not trying to say do not do safety. Safety's always first. But I wish we could just have our phones and put the lockers at the ride area, like next to the station. If you think about it, Japanese parks are better than the American parks. But we're not going to be talking about that. So let's get into the positives. This ride has a good soundtrack, aka you can choose your own music. Hip-hop, rap, and of course I chose rap. I'm a rap person. So I decided to choose Kanye West twice. I think I can't remember who I did for my first ride. But let's talk about this ride experience. You're going to come up the lift hill, 90-degree lift hill. I've only ridden 2 coasters with a 90-degree lift hill. If you guys know, the other coaster I've ridden with it is Hydrus at Casino Pier. Then you can go down the drop. The drop isn't really that steep. If anything, it feels like a drop on a coaster like Kumba, despite Kumba's curves. It doesn't feel like a B&M Hyper or El Toro's drop, not even close. If anything, you don't even get airtime. And then you go into a non-inverting loop. The non-inverting loop is very fun, and it's weird because I read in Tigris, and Tigris also has a non-inverting loop, but that one feels different. The one on Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit feels very rough. If anything, that's probably one of the rougher parts of the ride. Then you're going to go into a turn into a mid-course brake run. This is your first of 4, and then you're going to dive into a turn, into an upwards helix by the Jimmy Fallon ride, which I didn't actually get the chance to ride, so I don't know what it's like. Then you're just going to go into another one, hit a couple bank turns, another mid-course, and then you're going to hit into a pretty intense helix, and that's really all the ride is, just mid-courses and turns. The ride isn't really much, but I think what redeems the ride is the music, because it's very unique. If anything, it's probably the only coaster out there that you can choose your music for. And yes, Universal has other rides out there with amazing soundtracks. Take one example, Incredible Hulk Island's Adventure. That has one of the best soundtracks, in my opinion, of any roller coaster. And it plays well. I think Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is really good for that. So, what am I going to give Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit for its overall score? I'm going to give it a easy 7 out of 10. I think it's a good ride, not the greatest ride out there, but a very solid coaster, and definitely a very good coaster for Florida. If anything, the thrill seekers will like it. If you haven't ridden many coasters, families will like it. Really, anybody will like this ride. Maybe it's a little too extreme, but it's people would just like it. So that's coming to the end of the coaster review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any feedback for me, tell me what you guys thought on this review. Tell me what you guys actually thought of Rip Ride Rockit if you've read in it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay safe out there. More content's coming soon if you guys are actually wondering why I haven't uploaded really this month, or at least for the past 2 weeks. I actually had midterm exams recently, so that's why, and also I'm focusing more on school, so uploads might slow down. And also I have some, because my school is in block scheduling this year, it won't be like this. I'll have my exams in January, so I already have my midterms. Next set of exams are in January. I'm taking a civics course right now, so I have a civics test in December, so uploads might slow down there. But for now, uploads will be hopefully back to normal. Hopefully you see you guys in the next video, and bye.